Hey guys, how's it going? Another week of Q&A. We did 6 videos, all really good videos. It was such a busy week. It was probably one of the busier weeks that we've had in quite a while, probably a couple months. And so I pulled some good questions from it. We did a lot of things, and let me go over the videos that we did. We did last week's Q&A. Am I going to be using the landscape fabric? And then we did, I bought it, I didn't need it, plant shopping. And then another plant shopping, which was the bare root for the apple trees for the espalier. Then we did potting up seedlings and trimming back some grasses. It's all gone, everything came out. And then we planted up our apple trees. And I'm so excited having those planted. We've got rain right now. You guys can see like the raindrops falling behind me. I'm under the gazebo, and so I'm sorry if it's a little loud. I've got the mic on, hoping that that cuts back on some of the like sounds of the rain, because sometimes it can sound a little staticky. So I'm hoping that the microphone takes care of some of that. So before we jump into the questions, I do want to go over one thing really quickly. This week has been a week that doesn't happen very often here on the channel with in regards to some of the comments that I've been getting on the channel. And so I want to go over that really quick, just touch bases and address how I'm going to be handling it from now on, because this week there was quite a few negative comments, and that is not what this channel is about. That is not what we're doing here. I should not have to babysit anybody about what they say on this channel. You guys, I mean, I try to keep everything pretty light, pretty mellow, and I mean, it's gardening, it shouldn't be that serious. And this week there have been, it's actually been the last like 2 weeks, there's been some comments on there that drive me a little mad. So I don't need you to tell me if you think something in my garden is atrocious. I don't need you to tell me if you don't like how I do something. I don't need you to tell me if something is ugly in my garden. I don't need any of your negative comments. I don't need comments about why you don't watch somebody else's channel. I don't need any negativity on this channel. And so what I'm going to do from now on is I'm just going to start blocking people. So if you leave something that you wouldn't want said about you, or that you think somebody would read and it might make them feel bad, this isn't the place for that. So just be prepared that you will be blocked from this channel, because this is gardening. We keep it very light, very happy here, no negativity, and I don't have time for that. So you'll just get blocked. How that works is you won't even know you're blocked. You'll still be able to watch my videos, and you'll still be able to leave a comment on there, but I won't see it and nobody else will see it. So I'm still gonna get paid for your view, and your comment will just go out into the void and be left to absolutely nothing. So let's try to be a little more respectful going into this next couple weeks, because I don't want to do that anymore. It shouldn't be that serious. It's gardening, and you don't have to say hurtful things. So let's get into the questions from this week, because there was quite a few of them. The first video that we did last week was, am I going to use landscape fabric and gabion cages in the garden? And there was a ton of questions on there, so let's get into it. I only picked a few because I don't want to be outside because it's raining. So we're going to get through this as quick as possible. First question was from Dave, and he had said, hi there. I've enjoyed watching your channel over the past year. I remember somewhere about that time that you promoted some outdoor speakers that you would link with your iPhone, so you would listen to music, podcasts while you were in the garden. Do you happen to remember that item, and have they held up for you in the past year? I think we've had those for like 2 years now, and they have been amazing. They actually sit outside all summer long, and then last winter, not this current winter, the winter prior to that, they sat out all winter long, like in the rain. We never brought them inside. We like totally neglected them, and they have like built-in lights to them. I'll link them down below. They were amazing. They've still held up. They still work a couple years later. They're in our shed right now because we're gonna try to take care of things. I will put those in the link down below. They also have lights on them, so you can use it at nighttime for like some ambient mood lighting or whatever and play music. They're really cool speakers. Next question on that video was from Beth, and she had said, what is rabbit grass? It's bunny tail grass is what it's called, and it's got these little tiny plumes that are the seed heads, and they look like little bunny tails. They're a really, really cute grass, and we have a couple of them on the property. Next question on the video is from Terry, and she had said, do you know if you can still do winter seed planting in milk jugs? I thought about trying this method. I have never tried it. We usually don't get this much rain. This has been kind of a wet year for us. We don't get enough rain, and we don't get snow to like let moisture into those milk jugs or into that container. So I've never done it because it's something that I would have to water. I mean, we've had days this winter that have hit 70 degrees, and then a couple days later it's pouring down rain. So I've never tried it, so I really can't give you like any good recommendations on it. I'm assuming as long as you're before your like frost date and you have, you know, wet weather in the forecast and you're staying cool and it's time for you to start seeds, I would try it. I don't see a reason not to, but I've never done it, so I can't give the best advice. Next question on that video is from Nancy, and she had said, Robbie, since you are so busy, why not consider videos every other day? It sounds like a lot of work. Eventually, I would like for YouTube to become my full-time job. I'm not somebody who does very well with downtime. And I think going to every other day would end up actually like hurting my channel and make it so that people don't watch as often, and it would take much longer. So I've got the time and the energy to do this. I've cut back work at my day job as a barber, and so I'm only at the barbershop 3 days now, meaning now I have a little bit of time that I feel like I can like breathe and get these videos done and not feel so stressed out about it. Eventually I would like for this to become my full-time job, and with that I need to just put the work in and get it done now. It's exhausting, but I think it'll be worth it in the long run. Next question on that video is from JRP, and they had said, great Q&A. Question, could you use the brick along with another type of paver to resurface your patio? We definitely could. I think that we're just gonna go for like that like decking material though on this and use the brick somewhere else. I would really like to get a greenhouse on this property. I think that though we would have to like end up getting rid of the chicken coop, and I would like to use the brick as the floor inside the greenhouse. I just think that would be such a like beautiful cottagey look. But we already have 3 buildings on our property, and so I don't want to add a 4th until we can like figure out getting rid of maybe one of them. And I think it would just be the chicken coop because we don't really use that many eggs. So I think I'm gonna save them to eventually be able to use them for like a bigger project like a greenhouse floor. Last question on this video is from Vicky, and she had said, do you have a co-op that sells seeds? Ours is called Southern States. They will sell seed potatoes, just a thought. We do have a co-op, but I've never seen them selling seeds or seed potatoes, but I've also never looked. So I'm gonna go check out our local co-op. It's actually right across the street from one of the antique places that I absolutely love to go. And so I'm gonna go see, I guess, if they have seeds, because that'd be nice to like find some local stuff. The next video that we did was I bought it, I didn't need it, plant shopping. And it was good. I got a rose that I absolutely wanted, and I got some fertilizer that I desperately needed. The rose still isn't planted. I'm hoping to get that planted this week at some point. And it's beautiful. It's already budding out and like growing, so it's time to get it planted. First question on that video is from R, and they had said, hello Robbie, as terracotta is so expensive, why don't you try making concrete pots by yourself and paint glaze them in a terracotta color? Maybe make it together with Jamie. That would be a fun project. We've actually talked about, there's not enough time. Janie and I have actually talked about getting together and making some concrete pieces because concrete is so expensive. She wants some of those like concrete orbs, and so we're trying to figure out like times at work. This is just getting into the busy season for both of us, but we would love to get together and like do a crafting project of making our own concrete pieces. So it's on the docket for some time in the future. Next question on that video was from Saltwater Mom, and she had said, I have not had the best luck with roses. Do you have a favorite that grows most healthy for you, and was it difficult to learn how to care for them? I've only been growing roses now for like 5 years on this property. The very first one that we grew is called a pink iceberg rose, and I have abused that thing like there is no tomorrow. I planted it in our front yard, I dug it up, I planted it in the backyard, I dug it up, and then I moved it to its current location, and that thing I cut back and it blooms like crazy. So I would look for like a pink iceberg rose. The iceberg roses grow really, really well, so even if you didn't want pink, you could get it in white, and they just grow really well, really fast. The one that we have now is about 5 years old, and it is so healthy, so happy. where it's growing right now actually used to be a old driveway, and so it's like crummy soil. There's like gravel. There was automotive grease in that area. There's like glass. It's the worst soil possible, and it's probably one of our healthiest roses. So I would look at an iceberg rose because they do really, really well. Last question on that video was from Jennifer, and she had said, "Hi Robbie, yay, plant shopping with you was so fun. Those rose standards are wonderful." They were so good. This may be dumb, but I think it would be cool if they had created a weeping rose. Have you seen where they now have glow in the dark plants? Firefly series, check it out. Oh my gosh. I've never heard of glow in the dark plants. I'm gonna have to check that out. I will do a little research, and I'm gonna pop some pictures up on the screen of what this is about, because I don't know anything about this. But a weeping rose would also be really pretty. I feel like you could probably train a climbing rose to look like a weeping rose. I feel like you would train it to be tall and then let the branches weep down. That might be a good experiment to try. Next video that we did was exclusive bare root, apple espalier, tree shopping. Join me for insider tips. And I got to interview Kate, and you guys saw the T-Rex. Some of you got it, some of you didn't get it. It was just supposed to be funny, just supposed to be lighthearted, not serious at all. Let's just jump into the questions. I only pulled a couple from this video. First question on that video is from Kathy, and she had said, regarding your forsythia, have you thought about pollarding them? Maybe you'd like them better that way. Grow For Me Gardening just did a fabulous tutorial on willow trees. I don't quite know how you would pollard a forsythia. I'm gonna have to look into that, because I love training things in ways that they shouldn't be trained. I mean, the tree roses and the espalier, training things. I mean, I've got a topiary right there. So anything that I can train in a way that it wouldn't go in nature, I do enjoy doing. So I'm gonna have to look into that, because I do like the forsythia. So before I pull them out, I might as well just give it a shot. Next question on that video was from Darlene, and she had said, great video. Where is this nursery located? It's in Gerber, Northern California. It's called the Rock Garden. Middle of nowhere. I don't even think that the town that it's in technically even has a stoplight. Like, tiny town, Northern California, and just a cute little mom and pop nursery. Next question on that video was from Time to Garden. A little play on words there. Cute. The dinosaur made me snort laugh. See? I don't see your cut flower beds. Have you done away with them? Yeah, it was just kind of an experiment for 1 year. I'm all about trying things that I've never done, and so the cut flower garden was a huge experiment, and it was a huge success. So we decided to take it all out, and we're gonna do mostly landscape plants this year, and really hone in on how we want the landscape to be set in place. Last year we did it mainly because I wasn't sure the route that I wanted to go. I was still kind of toying with it, and I said, well, we have all this lawn space, let's get rid of some of the lawn and grow as many flowers as we can. Next question on that video is from Carol, and she had said, nice lady, you guys have so many nursery choices to go to. How do you bring bare root trees home? I was hoping you would show that. Do they just pull up and put it in a plastic bag? Yeah, so when you go pick up your trees, they will actually pull them out of that lofty mix, and then they go put it in a bucket of water up at the front while you check out. And then after you've checked out, they put the trees in a plastic bag, and you take it home, so that way the roots stay nice and wet and moist the entire way home. I don't know why I didn't show that. I thought about showing it. I just didn't. So they just put it in a plastic bag, and then you just bring them home that way. It's super easy. The next video that we did was potting up seedlings and grass trimming. Oh, I'm doing great. First question on that video was from Marlene, and she had said, hi Robbie, I think I have a volunteer Mahogany Splender hibiscus seedling, but I don't know if it's just a weed. Could you show a close-up of your seedlings? It would help me so much. I'll pop a video up over this section right here so you can see what ours look like. You should be able to see the little tiny maple leaves, so that should give you a clear clue on if it's Mahogany Splender hibiscus or not. Next question on that video is from Plant Grow Bloom, and they had said, seed starting time is the best. What kind of fertilizer do you use on your seedlings, and how often do you apply it? Okay, so full disclosure, I have not fertilized one time this year. Usually I use a liquid fertilizer. I use it at a quarter strength of what it says on the back of the packet to do. And you should be doing it like every other time that you water your seedlings. That's gonna help them grow nice and strong, and you know, there's no nutrients in the soil, so they're relying on whatever you give them. I just use a liquid fertilizer. The one that I just picked up a couple days ago from the grow center near me is called, I'll pop it up on the screen, but it's by Fox Farms. It's a liquid fertilizer. I just bought it because it was like 15 bucks, but any type of liquid fertilizer, that'll do the trick. Next question on that video is from Carol, and she had said, "Hi Robbie, I'm just curious why you start zinnia seeds when it's so easy to direct sow them in the landscape." We do that so I can get a head start. I could totally just do it in the landscape, no problem. But if I start them early, it gives me that much sooner that I get blooms. So if I start them like 2 weeks early inside or 3 weeks early inside, that means I'm gonna get blooms 3 weeks earlier in the season. So it's just, it gives me a boost in the growing season, so that means I'll get things that much earlier. But if I miss it, I miss it, and I can just direct sow them in the spots that I want them. This next question that I pulled, I only pulled not to be mean to the person, but because I'm actually genuinely curious what you guys think. So this is from Rebecca, and she had said, "Lately your videos are so long, who has the time?" Okay, I get comments all the time about my videos are too long or my videos are too short. So I would like to know, how long do you guys want these videos to be? Because a 20 to 30 minute video, it takes me forever to make. A 15-minute video, it takes me no time to make at all. So if you guys want me to be making 15-minute videos, that is no problem. That's actually way easier on me. But I kept getting comments that my videos were too short when I was making them 15 minutes. And now that I'm making them like 20, 25 minutes, I'm getting comments that they're too long. So let me know how long you guys would prefer videos to be. I don't want to bore you, and I also don't want to feel like you're not getting enough. So let me know a happy medium. Last question on that video was from Debbie, and she had said, "Would it be easier if you started the seeds in the large seed cells instead of starting them in the tiny seed cells?" I mean, yes, but what it boils down to is space. And so like the Kiss Me Over the Garden Gate that I transplanted, I had one pop up, and had I done them in the larger ones, I would have just wasted all of that space. So it boils down to like, it's space saving at the end of the day. And I mean, I've got one baker's rack that I grow all of my seeds on for the entire year. And so space is very limited. And so I try to start them as small as possible, and then I'll pop them up. It takes a little more time, but I don't need 12 of one thing. And so I can start 12 in a small row like this versus starting 12 and it takes up, you know, a quarter of a shelf. So it's space saving is what it boils down to. If you have unlimited space, start them in whatever size you want. The next video that we did is It's All Gone, and that's when my friend Allie came and she helped me remove so much stuff. She was so fast, and I was so sore after that. I mean, it was like 2 days I was sore. She just like gets at it, but this is also what she does for a living. She does like landscape redesigns for people, and so she goes hard at it. Let's get into the questions. I think I just pulled just a couple. Like I said, I'm trying to go inside. First question on that video was from Stacy, and she had said, "Robbie, have you ever considered reducing your lawn space to do more planting beds? With clearing and revamping your garden, could you talk a little bit about your garden design styles?" I try to like say it all the time, but I'm going for like a cottage formal vibe. So like a little cottagey and a little formal. I want like touches of formality, like the topiary, and then I want things that are very cottagey, like mass plants of cosmos or things like that. Like a cosmo is not a formal flower at all. So I want that mix of the two, if that makes sense. And then reducing lawn space, that is exactly what the plan is. That is the plan. I've got two designs that I'm toying with, and so I haven't decided which route we're 100% going. But either way, we're going to be getting rid of a lot of lawn space. We've got 2 dogs now, and we have 2 separate lawn areas for them to go to, and they're never in the back lawn. They're always in the like closer up front lawn, like right where I'm sitting. So we're gonna get rid of a lot of lawn space this year. Next question on that video is from Connie, and she had said, "Any chances we can see their new home? Your friend seems so fun." She has texted me and invited me back to come this springtime or this summertime and check out. She has 2 properties. She's got the one where she lives out, and she's got another one where she works that is like a farm, and she has told me that I can come back and check those out later on in the year. So we will be going and checking those out once the plants start to, root in a little bit. Next question on that video was from Steph, and she had said, how exciting to have a clean slate to plant in. Do we see a shopping trip with Janie in the near future? Next time I head down that way, I need to go to Green Acres because they have great specimens. So absolutely, it's just finding the time. Last question on this video was from a friend, and they had said, why are you getting rid of things? It doesn't make sense. Because I decided to change my mind on how I wanted my property to look. And that is the beauty about gardening, is that you can change your mind, and at the end of the day, it's just a plant. And I wanted to go this route. And when we had first bought this property, that flower bed, the main flower bed where the espalier trees are now going, is the very first bed that I planted anything in. And those plants are all ones that I got for free or for dirt cheap, like $2 a plant. And I've decided I don't want them. So I changed my mind. That's the end of it, is I changed my mind. And the last video that we did for the week was the start of the espalier apple trees and more plant removal, and that was so good. It looks so great. I'm staring at it, and now I cannot wait to start officially training those. I need to get some sort of like trellis support in place, but it's gonna be so good. So the first question on that video was from Green Thumbelina, and she had said, Robbie, I'm one of those gardeners who plays musical plants every year. If I don't like the location of something I've planted, I move it just like you are doing. Are you planning to dig and divide the large grass to plant in the other 2 places? I can't wait to watch your newest garden change, because as every gardener knows, our gardens are in a state of never-ending change. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna buy some new ones because I only need 2 more, and so I think I'm just gonna buy 2 plants. I've got the one there, and I could divide it, but I just think that might be a little too much work. So I'm just gonna buy 2 and let them go. They're like 20 bucks a piece, so I think buying 2, totally worth it. Next question on that video was from Victoria, and she had said, honest question, when you dig something up, can you put it in a nursery pot for a while when you don't know where to plant it yet? Nothing against getting rid of plants you don't want, but such as the hibiscus. You totally could. I probably wouldn't like do it for too long. The hibiscus can totally go in a container. I could have put it in a container, or you can just like put it in a trash bag, like the roots of it, with some water inside the trash bag so it stays nice and like wet. If you just need like a day to figure out where you're gonna put it, or you could pot it up. I would just cut back some of the top of it, so that way you top prune and root prune. And that's true for a lot of things, is you can dig it up, you can put it in a nursery container, as long as you're not planning to like grow it in a new container. You don't want to go from like landscape back into a container to grow in a new container. It probably wouldn't do quite the best. Next question on that video is from Paula, and she had said, LOL, so exhausting, I hate math. And I keep subscribing to your channel, and then in a few weeks I'm unsubscribed. What's going on? Any ideas? I've heard of that happening to other people's channels as well, and I have no clue why YouTube is doing that. So I don't know. Maybe just don't worry about it, but being subscribed does help my channel. So if you notice it and you want to resubscribe, great. If it keeps doing it to you, you can either contact YouTube and be like, hey, what's up with this? Or just don't worry about it at the end of the day. But I really appreciate you being here. The next question on that video is from Diane, and she had said, just curious, do you realize how many apples you are going to get once those 3 apples start producing? Hope you like applesauce, apple pie, apple fritters. Okay, so we're gonna be espaliering them. So technically those apple trees are only gonna have 8 branches. And the 8 branches are gonna be kept to a certain length of like 25 inches on each side. So it's not gonna be like a full apple tree. They're not gonna be producing a ton of apples. It's just gonna be very few apples, and honestly, I'll be selectively pruning them off. We really won't be getting that many apples. It's not gonna be producing like a full-blown apple tree, I promise. Next question on that video, I think it's from Pummy. Please correct me. And they had said, are you moving the metal trellis pot holder into your kitchen garden? That was a good idea. I will be moving that into that cottage garden, and I'm gonna grow all my herbs in that, because that was an amazing idea. It's just finding the time. swear this is dirty. It's getting really wet and really humid out here, so my camera lens is fogging up. So I'm gonna try to blast through these last 2 questions so we can get inside, because the quality of the camera it's going down. Next question on the video was from Colleen, and she had said, do you have anyone in your neighborhood who uses the landline anymore? Have the phone company remove it. It's actually a power line. So that's the power line. There's one power line that goes back and it's to our house, and there's a second power pole on our property. And the people that owned our property before us actually had a huge greenhouse that they grew weed on our property, and they had it connected to power. I'm looking at it right now. So they had that power line ran to go to their greenhouse so they could like power it or whatever. And then they ended up cutting the line and cutting the power box whenever they moved out. That was like 10 years ago. And we called the power company to have them remove it. And they said, yeah, sure, we can remove it, but it's going to be like $2,000 to come remove that pole, because you guys being the people that owned the house before us, paid for it to be put in. So now it's your power pole. So if you want it removed, we can come out there, but it's going to cost you. I said, oh, never mind. I'll just paint the lower half and we'll be fine with that power pole. So there's still like live wires that run to it down to the meter box. So it's just going to stay there. We're just going to leave it. Last question on that video is from Tammy, and she had said, just a question, shouldn't the trees be out from the fence more so the branches can grow in the back? I'm going to be keeping it so the tree is this wide. It's not going to be growing branches in the back, and it's not going to be growing branches forward. It's going to have a total of 8 branches on the tree. And so it's going to be a espaliered, which I'm going to pop some pictures up of espaliered trees that are more established so you guys can see what they'll look like in 10 years from now. So that is going to be it for this video, you guys. I'm going to go inside. The rain has picked up like crazy. We got out here and it was like a light sprinkle, and it's so cold. It's freezing. I'm dying, okay? Let's see how cold it is. It's 54 degrees. It's cold. I'm gonna go inside. I will see you guys all in the next one. Let's play nice next week. Bye, guys.